Good evening, I'm Michael, and you're watching Kini News, the show that brings you today's biggest stories. Proton and Perodua may be the only national car makers for now, but that could change soon. A third player is set to join the game. All it needs now is an investor. In 2019, Perodua held 40% market share, selling more cars than any other car maker in the country. But soon there may be some variety on Malaysian roads with the arrival of the third national car. Prime Minister Dr Mahathir Mohamad confirmed today that the prototype is ready, but it will not be made public until the country acquires an investor keen to develop the car further. Mahathir said as the car of the future, the third national car will be fitted with modern technology suitable for future needs.
The new Malaysian vehicle project is expected to contribute significantly to the nation's economic development through its support for both the upstream and downstream industries, creating the demand of other related materials such as high-grade steel, plastics, rubber and petrochemical products.
The push to build a new national car was first expressed by Mahathir during his visit to Japan in June 2018, not long after taking office following Pakatan Harapan's victory in GE14. At the time, he said this was as a large stake in the country's first national car, Proton, was sold to a Chinese company in 2017. The government has said any endeavour to develop a third national car must be backed by the private sector, as the country lacked public funds to see it through. Friday is usually a pretty laid-back day for most of us, but for Najib and his wife Rosma, it was a rather busy day. Najib Abdul Razak and his wife Rosma Mansor were interviewed by cops at Bukit Aman this morning for about an hour over the audio clips of the former Prime Minister's telephone conversations with several individuals on 1MDB. The couple arrived at the police headquarters in Kuala Lumpur at about 10:45 a.m. and entered through the rear entrance. On January 8th, MACC released the audio recordings of the conversations, which also involved the leaking of information from the Attorney General's chambers to Najib on the 1MDB probe in 2016. One of the recordings was a telephone conversation between the former Premier and his wife.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I advise you? Can I advise you something?
Yeah, hang on. Okay, anything?
While Latifah claimed that the recordings revealed an alleged conspiracy and abuse of power in relation to 1MDB, Najib, however, argued that the conversations vindicated him. The former Premier is also initiating contempt of court proceedings against the MACC chief. Najib is currently on trial for a slew of charges over the 1MDB scandal. Last month, police also spent close to 4 hours at the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya, quizzing Chief Commissioner Latifah Koya and 6 other officers over the audio recordings. This came after MACC lodged a police report over an alleged plot to discredit Latifah. After being interviewed by the police in the morning, Najib and Rosma spent the afternoon being probed by MACC. Former Prime Minister Najib Abdul Razak and his wife Rosma Mansor were questioned by MACC for about an hour this afternoon over the audio recordings of their tapped telephone calls on 1MDB. Najib and Rosma arrived at the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Academy in Kuala Lumpur at around 3 p.m.
They recorded statement together or separately? Separately. Confirm that this is due to the audio recordings. Is this for the audio recordings or something else?
The statements?
Yeah.
The statements is due to the audio recordings. Yes. So that is all I can tell you. I'm sorry. Because it's a subject of an investigation, okay. I can't reveal anything more at this juncture. That is all I can tell you.
Prior to this, police had recorded statements from 12 witnesses regarding the 9 audio recordings disclosed by MACC, which the Commission claimed to be evidence of a high-level criminal conspiracy. China reported 118 new deaths from the coronavirus outbreak yesterday, bringing the total to over 2,200. In Malaysia, things appear to be under control, and Cabinet recently discussed how we can further contain the coronavirus. In light of the COVID-19 situation in China, should all visitors from the economic powerhouse be banned from travelling to Malaysia? Deputy Prime Minister Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said such a move would be unnecessary.
Semalam Menteri Kesihatan ada sebut nak ban pelancong dari China tu, macam mana?
Itu kita memang dibincangkan, namun hari ini kita bermesyuarat tidak ada keperluan. Kita teruskan, tetapi kita perketatkan rakyat Malaysia yang balik daripada China. atau sesiapa yang nasional yang bukan rakyat Malaysia pun yang telah pergi ke China dalam masa 14 hari, balik dia mesti lalui persaringan kesihatan.
Wan Azizah was answering a question about the plan to ban tourists from China, which the Health Minister Dr Zulkifli Ahmad said was among the measures discussed by the Cabinet on Wednesday. Zulkifli told reporters on Thursday that any decision on the suggestion will be announced by Wan Azizah, who is also the chairperson of the National Disaster Management Agency.
As Attorney General, Tommy Thomas has a lot of power. How much power? This next story should give you a good idea.
The proceedings against 12 individuals on trial for alleged links to the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam LTTE has been discontinued with immediate effect. The decision was made by Attorney General Tommy Thomas. In an 11-page statement, Thomas said the common thread among all of them was that they simply had photos of slain LTTE leaders, such as Velupillai Prabhakaran, in their phones or Facebook accounts. In his statement, Thomas said if such conduct can constitute a criminal offence, it would bring the law into disrepute. He added that even if there were elements of terrorist act on the part of all or any of the 12 LTTE accused by possessing, distributing or displaying such photos of Prabhakaran, it would be impossible for the prosecution to establish that they do not fall within the excluded category of Section 130B4 of the Penal Code, in that they merely constitute advocacy, protest or dissent. Among those arrested were DAP Assembly Persons P. Gunasekaran and G. Saminathan.
UMNO and PAS may be best friends now, but that hasn't stopped BN component party MCA from slamming the Terengganu state government over its planned entertainment guidelines.
The Terengganu state government's issuance of gender segregation guidelines on event organisers has grabbed the attention of Wanita MCA. Its chief, Heng Say Ki, has slammed the PAS-led state government, saying cultural and art performances should not be forced to follow rules which are discriminatory in nature. The entertainment guidelines, which will be enforced soon, among others, bars female entertainers from performing for mixed-gender audiences. The Wanita MCA leader said the decision taken by the Terengganu state government is regrettable, as such an extreme and discriminatory directive is sure to paint a bad image of our nation and jeopardize the economy. She also urged the Terengganu state government to review its decision to ensure that the state's directives uphold multicultural and moderate values, as well as respect for basic human rights and freedom. Heng said that the 11-point gender segregation guidelines put forth by the Terengganu Tourism, Culture and Information Technology Committee chairperson, Arifin Deraman, shows that non-Muslims are not excluded.
Coming up next, you thought Trump couldn't be any more polarizing? Well, you're wrong. Baby Yoda is all over the internet. Now you may be able to keep one at home. US President Donald Trump has slammed the film Parasite without even watching it. Why? Well, he'll tell you.
US President Donald Trump on Thursday ridiculed the historic Best Picture Oscar win for South Korean film Parasite, telling a campaign rally in Colorado Springs, Colorado, that he wished for the return of Hollywood classics like the 1939's Gone with the Wind. Parasite, a dark social satire about the gap between the rich and the poor in modern Seoul, earlier this month became the first non-English language film to take Hollywood's top prize. It also won 3 other Oscars, Best Director and Original Screenplay for Bong Joon-ho, and Best International Feature Film.
By the way, how bad were the Academy Awards this year? Did you see it? And the winner is a movie from South Korea. What the hell was that all about? We got enough problems with South Korea with trade. On top of it, they give him the best movie of the year. Was it good? I don't know.
Trump, who is on a 4-day Western U.S. swing, gave a harsh review as well of Wednesday night's Democratic presidential debate, particularly the performance of former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg, who the president said had a ragged night. Trump is set to return to Washington after speaking at a rally in Las Vegas on Friday.
Internet memes are great, and there's no bigger meme right now than Baby Yoda, and soon everyone will be able to have one. Not the actual Baby Yoda, of course, but a toy.
Baby Yoda toys from Walt Disney's streaming TV hit The Mandalorian will reach store shelves next month, the company said on Thursday, after missing the 2019 holiday shopping season. The character officially called the child, but which has been dubbed Baby Yoda by fans, is the breakout star of the Star Wars-themed show on the Disney Plus subscription streaming service. Fans have clamored for toys and merchandise since the service debut in November, but Baby Yoda toys were not available before the premiere season of The Mandalorian because the creators wanted to maintain the show's secrecy.
We think it captures the essence of the character, brings it to life, and we think that the fans and the kids around the world are going to really love it.
Big Baby Yoda, which can make 25 different sound and motion combinations, is now available for pre-order for $60 without the bassinet. If you think that is pricey, just know that the child will take a full snap once you lay it down, a priceless perk for most parents. Pre-sales for some of the products began last year, and consumers are expected to receive their orders starting next month. If that's over your budget, there are smaller versions of the big-eared baby.
I'm particularly excited about these little guys. They're called bouncy collectible figures, and what they do is they take key scenes from the show and recreate them in a really fun and engaging way.
I'm not afraid of roaches. I'd pick one up if I have to, and spiders too, but something about locusts scared the living daylights out of me. This is why I'm glad I'm not in Kenya at the moment.
Kenyan farmer Mwende Kimanzi lost her crops to a swarm of desert locusts when they landed in her fields 2 weeks ago. And since then, they have been eating their way through her sorghum, millet and lentils while she tries to chase them away. For the mother of three, it's much more than an inconvenience. Usually, she sells the lentils and keeps the rest to feed her family, but the locust invasion means they could soon go hungry.
The locusts appeared and we called the authorities immediately. The aeroplane started the spraying from that edge of the river. Some died, but the rest of the swarm moved to our farms. They destroyed everything here. They have now moved to our homes. They are now laying eggs there.
The swarm were first sighted in December. Since then, tens of thousands of acres of farmland in Kenya, Somalia and Ethiopia have been destroyed, threatening food supplies in what is the worst locust invasion in 70 years.
And here are more headlines from today. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'll see you again next week, same time, same place. I'm Prasad Michael. Thank you for watching. But before we go, we bring you the launch of a special health tourism packages by GHHS Healthcare and the Palace of the Golden Horses.